You're tuned in to Floridian Ralo. I'm your host, Floridian Ralo, coming at you with another live stream. We are tuning in to the Arlette catch up with Jeremiah and Shana from episode 19. So Jeremiah is from Vegas. Shana is from Floridian. So we got a Vegas guy and a Floridian that match on episode 19, season 2. Because now they're in season 3, which will probably come out the next couple of days. So without further ado, let's get right to the video, shall we? Let's see what happens with these two. I was rooting for these two as well. Let's go.
Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's your host Arlette and we are here today with Jeremiah.
Jeremiah and Shana. Shana is chilling. Jeremiah and Shana may not have that communication. It doesn't look like they had that communication. It's just like a smile because they haven't seen each other. It seemed like it didn't work out, fortunately. I was really rooting for them. He had an opportunity to be with a Floridian. Now, I'm not taking sides. However, communication is very important. And I could tell by the body language, the communication is going to be the reason why they're not together. This is a short video. Normally, Arlette catch-up videos is around 25 to 30 minutes. This is the shortest catch-up in the history of the Arlette Amuli show. This is not good. Let's see what happens, though, what people can learn from this.
Maya and Shana, welcome y'all. How we feeling?
Feeling good.
Feeling good. Okay. We got big old smiles. I like that. So we had you all on episode 19 of Pop the Balloon or Find Love, where you guys ended up matching. Okay, so it's gonna be a yes for you. Yes. It is a yes for you for her.
Of course. 100%.
We got a match. I'll take this, and you guys can go on. Let's give it up for them, y'all.
Well, she did put her hand on his, shoulder, and he grabbed her around the waist. So let's see what happens. Before we continue, let's see if we got anybody in the chat. We got 3 people viewing right now. Anybody in the chat? No, nobody's in the chat. All right. So I'm going to continue this conversation. Let's get back to it.
All right. So obviously on your episode of episode 19, people had quite a lot to say, as we saw in the comments. Shana, we'll start with you. So a lot of the comments, they were all calling you purple dress, by the way. I was wearing pink. I was wearing pink. For some reason it looked purple a little bit. Yeah, so everybody was like, purple dress doesn't want to take accountability and whatever maybe. How did you feel about reading those comments and talk us through the moment when you were in there getting asked these questions? And
yeah, because it was a previous guy that was on the show ask a specific question about the ex and hold herself accountable. She didn't really answer that question, so she got a lot of people on the internet talking their talk. Let's see what she has to say about it.
Whatever it was.
Armageddon hardball dinner. How hard is it?
When I came to set, I honestly didn't think I was going to match with anyone. I walked on set and I seen all these gorgeous women there. Episode 19. I'm not sure if
Episode 19 had a lot of interesting ladies, no doubt about it. Yet you can't be on that because they got it going on. You don't have it going on. You got picked. So you already doubt yourself by going on the show from the get-go. All right, let's continue.
I remember the lineup, but these girls were gorgeous.
Yes, they were.
So I said, I'll just come for the experience. I'll come and have fun. If you guys remember the episode, I was laughing and giggling the whole time. And I was asked a few questions, and which I didn't answer. And honestly, watching that episode and reading the comments, they were brutal. But I do understand why so many people are upset. That I do understand. Coming from my point of view, which is something I learned major being on the show, and I was speaking to Jeremiah about it, is I live like a private life for the most part. And one of my biggest mistakes was coming on a public show trying to be so private. And I learned major.
Floridian ladies don't like to do too much talking about certain things. That's true. At the same time, you are on a big platform, so it's expected for people. They're going to say what they're going to say, even if you may not agree with it, and you're learning through the situation. Yeah, because most Floridian ladies, for the most part, is not into that type of environment. However, you are on a major platform that's very well known throughout the world. So it's just not only in America. So, hey, she's learning something. Everybody goes through the process. Let's go.
That was a big no.
Yeah.
Which is why I didn't answer some of the questions. If I could go back and redo it, which I can't, it's already done.
Right, exactly.
But growing from this experience, I would have answered. Even if I didn't want to, I should have given an explanation.
Okay.
So I did learn that. And after the show, when I was reading the comments, I did call Jeremiah. And I said, do you want me to answer the question? Which he did say yes. So when I said, the show part, let's put the show aside. Just me and you. Do you want to know the answer to this question that he had asked? Because he had asked me something that I did wrong and something that my ex did wrong in our past relationship. And I did answer the question to Jeremiah. So
Okay.
yeah, I really didn't feel so safe in a space full of strangers to let that part of me out. And what I could have told Jeremiah was, we can have this conversation off camera, which we did, know. So I learned from that experience that if you're going to go on this show and you think you live a private life, don't do it. Or don't come on the show and not answer questions. Because people will come for you. People said so much, like, I've cheated in the past, which I never have. Or I don't take accountability, which I do take a lot of accountability. And I have people in my circle who do keep me accountable too,
That's good.
So
Well, one thing about the daughter of Zion, she's level-headed. It's not to say he's perfect or she's perfect. She's level-headed. That's good. And she learned, she hold herself accountable. Let's see how this goes, though. Let's see how this goes.
I am an accountable person, but I can say my biggest mistake, one of the few that I made, was not answering that, and I should have answered it. And one more thing that I did do wrong, which I told Jeremiah too, is I shouldn't have popped. I should have given him the opportunity if I didn't answer the question.
When she popped the balloon, because I remember that. And normally Jeremiah is going to answer that question. He's the type of person that would not reconsider the situation, which is why I believe the communication is an issue, because you could tell that the communication between these two, because you got to remember, he's in Vegas, 3 hours behind, she's 3 hours ahead. So when you're in long distance, you got to communicate a lot more. Now, one thing I will say, he will probably use my talking point, is I'd rather see you in person than talk to you all the time and FaceTime. When it comes to Floridian ladies, guys, they love to talk on the phone a lot. I will say that they love being out in Florida. I know they love to talk on the phone a lot, especially if you're not in Florida. If you meet a lady in Florida, they love to be on the phone a lot. They have to see what you're doing. And he's from Vegas, so, he's in the North State. He's dealing with a lot of more craziness than she probably dealing with in Florida. And this is the reason why it's important when you meet somebody, you get to see them within that time frame. Because if you don't, you're gonna lose attraction from both sides. It's very rare that somebody can still have attraction from you and they haven't seen you in a long time. That's very, very, very rare. It exists, yet very rare. Let's see if we got anybody in the chat. Let's see. The comment section is quiet. Okay. Nothing wrong with that. All right, let's continue to listen to this video.
To pop, because I popped before, as soon as he answered the question. So I know I said a lot. So I grew from the experience. I've learned a lot. So yeah.
Okay, that's good. See, so look at that, y'all. She's taking accountability now. She came out right out the gate, ready to take accountability. They can't come for you now. We'll see. We don't know about the internet. We never know. So Jeremiah,
Yes.
obviously, like she said, she ended up popping on you initially.
Right.
However, that didn't deter you. When she got a balloon back, you were still ready to match. Why so?
Yeah, so I believe in second chances sometimes.
Okay.
But I saw Shana, I was like, wow, she's very.
So he said sometimes he give a person a second chance. And there you have it. And so when he saw her, he was attracted to her. Let's see what happens.
Beautiful. And I'm like, oh, let me just give her a second chance. You never know.
Exactly.
Because when you give a second chance to some people, they end up surprising you, end up being the one. But we can kind of speak on how things went after the fact.
Okay, well, that's a good segue. Let's jump right into it then.
Well, this is not going to be good, y'all. This is not going to be good. We already almost 5 minutes in. We got about 11 minutes, just about under 10 minutes to go. And already, you notice it's not going to look good.
So, since you guys ended up matching, have you gone on a date? Have you hung out?
Kind of.
Kind of. Yep. Yes, all that. It is.
Tell me about it.
So after the show, we, us and Julius and JoJo, we all went on a double date. I think that Matt mentioned it
They did.
in the past follow-up show. So after that, we had a very good night. It was very fun at the Hook Lounge. After that,
No hookah was done.
Yeah, Julius and JoJo is doing very well together. For those who don't know, they came on already on Let Catch Up. So, yeah, you would think that this will work out. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it worked out. Even catching up after the show, after they match. Let's see what happens.
I was like, wait, why are we at Hook Lounge? We're not smoking hookah. But after the Hook Lounge, after the show,
The photo tells it all, y'all. The photo tells it all. She's driving. He's in the passenger seat. And yeah, man. The photo tells it all. They look like they were into each other at the same time. Communication, man. That's what it is when you're in these long distance situations. Communications, You gonna hear what they have to
we
say.
talked here and there, we texted here and there, but honestly, I don't know if you want me to say anything, but at the end of it, we were like, maybe things didn't work out the way that they were supposed to be.
And there you have it. Let's see why. I'm telling you, it's communication, y'all.
But in the end, we ended up being very amicable.
Okay.
And we are still single.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
They are still single. Well, there you have it. Let's see what it leads to.
So Shana, what happened?
Okay, so to kind of repeat what he said, so once we left the show, we went on a double date with Julius and JoJo. Shout out to them. I saw that they're doing great. We had an incredible night. I'm glad I didn't match with Jeremiah that night. We were just giggling the whole night. And then we ended up that night, I'm not sure if you remember, we had watched a previous episode of The Balloon in the Car. And we were like, this Hopper's gonna roast us, So we did have a good first date. But after our first date, we kind of...
Well, that means if they watch the Pop the Balloon show, Wait a minute. Y'all watching Pop the Balloon Show in the vehicle? You're watching that? Okay, it's not wrong watching a show that you did together on OLED. That means there was no communication because you're watching a show and trying to figure out how to communicate with each other on both sides, both sides, both sides. It's not wrong watching Netflix, YouTube, and all this other stuff. Nothing wrong with that. I just want you to know that. It's nothing wrong with that. It's just that they met after the show. You would think they would spark some type of interest. The interest wasn't there. The communication wasn't there. Let's continue.
Yeah.
Fizzled out a little bit. I still think very highly of Jeremiah, but we just didn't work out.
She said it fizzled out. There you go. I wanted to see the man of Zion, the daughter of Zion do their thing. It just didn't work out. Let's see what happens.
I live on the East Coast, he was on the West Coast, which I think is kind of a big reason why we didn't work out as much too.
That's not the only reason why. Yeah, you live in Florida, he stay in Vegas at the same time. You know, the Floridian women do things differently than you coming from the North State. Pay attention to what they're about to say. Pay attention.
Okay. There's a few other things, but one of the main reasons, in my opinion.
So initially, when we matched, she said that she lived in Florida, and I was initially okay with that because I'm like, okay, we can kind of work something out.
Yeah, of course. Florida's the number one spot. Florida's number one spot right now. Vegas is number 15, number 16 of places people want to relocate to. Florida's the number one relocation in America right now. Let's continue.
Yeah.
I can book a flight, go see her. She can book a flight, come see me. But as things went on, I'm like, okay, really not feeling the spark wasn't there, to be honest with you.
Okay.
So why the spark wasn't there, Jeremiah?
This was how soon after you?
This was about maybe like a week ago.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Oh boy.
Jump right in.
You say, oh boy, because you done messed up. You done messed up.
You want to go first?
I can go first.
Boy.
So since we stayed, it was going to be long distance. One of the reasons that, in my opinion, I know Jeremiah said he didn't feel a spark. Which I respect. I still think he's very attractive. I know he thinks the same about me. But it was Jeremiah's lack of communication. I barely heard from Jeremiah after the show. He would text me here and there. And one thing I do appreciate about him is he knew I got a lot of backlash from our episode, and he was texting me to check up on me. I do appreciate you doing that. But other than that, there was really no communication between us, like no calls, no FaceTime. So it kind of just let me know that he wasn't really interested. That's how I took it. So yeah.
Like would you like message him and you wouldn't hear anything back, or
No, he would text me back, or he would text me, or I would text him. But it was very like short conversations. Like it wasn't really getting to know me, or it was just like, hey, how are you, kind of thing, and that was it. Like it was like we had.
You got to understand that the men of Jacob if they into you, they want to see you in person. They don't really want to conversate too much. They like to chill, get things done, and focus on how they're going to see you. That's how it is. I think that she wanted more out of the conversation thereof and FaceTime to see what's going on. He's the type of person that, he's trying to take care of his business. He want to get things situated. He want to get things right. And sometimes, men in particular don't like to talk all day and have conversations all day. Some men are like that, fortunately, right? It's not to say he's a mute. What it is that he would rather see you in person and figure it out right then and there. And it's just a miscommunication on both of your sides. Y'all should have talked about that before you furthered the situation after you left Arizona. Being that it's a long state, situation. You in Florida, he's in Vegas. it shouldn't take to come back to Arlette's show to talk about this now. Since y'all talk about it, I'm breaking it down. I'm reacting to it. For other people that is thinking about long distance relationships, if you meet somebody in a particular area and they in such and such place, you in such and such place, you gotta let them know, hey, I love talking on the phone. I don't mind facing time at the same time, got things to do. You make sure they busy until that time you go meet up with each other. Now, communication, if it's not on point, yeah, it's going to be mishaps because I really rooted for these two. I really did because I seen potential. It's just unfortunate that the lack of communication on both sides mess up an opportunity for the both of them. Let's go.
2 phone conversations. I was telling to BM, which is your husband.
Yeah.
We had 2 phone conversations since the show, and I'm the one who initiated both of the conversations. So, his
Here we
action
go.
just showed a lot that he wasn't like,
Here we go.
it's not something he was feeling, which, I was fine with. I told him after the show, it is something he wants to pursue, just let me know. If not, let me.
Oh, so she told you after the show. Oh man, Jeremiah, bro, that was your chance to let her know the rules and boundaries. Hey, I don't mind getting with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like talking on the phone as much. I don't mind texting you. I don't mind hearing from you, making sure you're good. Yeah, I'm a more in person. You didn't tell that to her because it's like misleading in a sense. She's wrong of not being upfront with you too. Yet you the man, you're supposed to lead by example. Let's see what happens.
Too, I'm cool either way. So, yeah, his action just told me that he really wasn't interested, and I was fine with that. So, yeah.
Okay.
She said his actions, not his words, his actions. Hey, daughter of Zion, gonna let the man of Zion know what time it is. Let's go.
Okay.
Interesting.
Oh,
That's very interesting.
Here we go.
What's your
Here we
perspective on
go.
it?
So
Here we go.
we did have a conversation offline about the distance and me trying to come out to go see her.
Mhm.
And we had a conversation about me just flying out. And when I was actually in the process of booking a flight to go see Shana, she said no.
All that like, oh, and she got her face down because she know she said it. Yeah, she gonna explain it. She gonna explain it. Listen.
I did say no.
So when
So how soon after the show, after you guys matched, when was this?
this was about a
Good question, all that. Good
week
question.
after the show.
Oh.
It wasn't a week after the show.
Okay. A week
It
and
was
2 days.
no, it was probably 3 weeks after the show. It was when
Oh, now we getting somewhere. It was 3 weeks before y'all was supposed to catch up with Arlette. She gonna explain it. Here we go.
BM reached out to me to do our catch up episode, and I reached out to you and said, "Hey, BM wants to do our catch up." You're like, "Well, I haven't gotten a chance to get to know you. Let me come."
There it is. There it is. So she texts you or call you and reach out to you and said that BM, wanted to do the catch up, and she replied the message to you. Now, I guess BM tried to reach out to you. He didn't get it. He didn't get a response from you, so he responded to her, which makes sense. He probably tried to reach out to you, and you didn't reach out back to BM. More likely, because BM is going to reach out to both parties. It's just business. It is what it is. So he got in contact with her, to see what's going on. All right, let's see what happens.
Out to Florida, and that's when I said, I would much rather you have gotten to know me first, through call, through text, than for you just to fly to Florida. Because what if we weren't even compatible, So that's why I didn't say no, like it's a no, do not come and see me. It was a no. I'd rather you have gotten the time to know me first, which I feel like you really didn't do.
Yeah, no, I really get that. So the way that I think that you get to kind of know a person a little bit better is to actually see them in person, see them in the flesh,
Okay.
right? To see that look at their body language, look at how they're speaking, and you actually see the physical person. And even if things didn't work out, I can go to Disney World.
Oh man, that's interesting. He say that. I'm laughing in a good way. That's what I'm talking about. He like, you know what, man? If things don't work out, hey, I'm out here in Florida. I'm not gonna lose my mind. I'm gonna go chill out in Disney, just enjoy myself. And that look, she looked like, what? Take what you say, Jeremiah? What are you trying to say? Shana have that look like, what? Disney World. Let's continue.
It's in Orlando.
And I understand that, Jeremiah, but still no effort was put in at all prior to you saying, hey, I want to come see you. You know, if we were to do this, we were going to be long distance regardless. So call and text and FaceTime is all we had. And you didn't even give that to me. So when you said, hey, I want to come see you, I was like, come see me for what? This man has not shown interest for the past few weeks. And now all of a sudden he wants to hop on a plane and come to Florida. So that's why I said no.
So, like wanting to go see someone in person is quite literally the action of trying to get to know them.
I agree with him on that. Yeah, we're in 2024. We're in 2024, and ladies move differently. Ladies move differently than when I was coming up back in the days. Back in the days, they don't mind seeing you in person. You know, we're not in those times. If you don't message, you know, you don't reach out to their outlet on Instagram or comments, whatever. It's a lot go with this, man. It's a lot that go with this market in 2024, Jeremiah. What you're saying is true, yet you got to understand, we are in 2024. We're in a digital FaceTime, Instagram, and all your phones. You could link up on the phone, show yourself on the camera. So, yeah, it's just unfortunate that most ladies, you know, want to see you, yet they want to see your environment. What are you doing on your spare time? You know, so, hey, let's see what happens.
I'm more of an in-person person. Texting, calling, FaceTiming is okay, but I'd rather see you in flesh. I'd rather be able to hug you in person, really get to know you, and possibly meet your friends. But you really can't do a lot of that over texting and calling. Okay. So that was my point.
So, have you ever had a long distance relationship or fling, whatever it is, beforehand?
Yeah. Yes, I have.
Okay.
And it's been a consistent, like, me coming out there.
You notice you said, if you ever had a long distance relationship or the fling, he said, yes, it was consistent. So he's going to explain the situation. Let's continue. And look at Shayna's face.
That person coming out to wherever I'm at, and it worked out for quite a long time. But eventually there comes a point where one person or the other has to eventually relocate.
Right.
I agree with that. And depending on the environment, if they were to work out, yeah, he has to. It's going to be him going to Florida. I don't see her moving to Vegas. I don't see her moving to Vegas. You know, she'll visit Vegas. Yeah, she won't move to Vegas. There's too much going on in Florida, and it's a lot more opportunities in Florida than it is in Vegas. It's not to say you can't do your thing in Vegas. It's just that comparison. Yeah, he would have to be the one to move there because it's too much to do. It's too much to do. You ain't gonna have no time to be, man. I mean, Florida is a whole different scenario, y'all. Man, I tell you, it's a whole different scenario. Let's go.
The same city as the other person, and those past relationships didn't reach that point.
Okay. So now between the visits where you would go over there, they would come to you, how was the communication?
So after the initial visit, I typically can kind of gauge a person, whether that's going to be a potential relationship or not. So the purpose of the physical trip is twofold. So it's to get to know the person and then figure out if this person could be a potential relationship in the future.
Okay, so it sounds like you guys have like different ways of how you want to start off a relationship.
Yeah, and
Exactly, and they didn't communicate that to one another, so they both have fought for that. Let's hear what she has to say.
we didn't both realize that until we were both like, yeah, no. You know, but speaking to him after the fact, he's like, this is what I want to do. I'm like, I prefer you gotten to know me first, you know, because if we're long distance, all we have is call, text, and FaceTime. And he's like, no, I want to see you. And so, you know.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
And then so Did you guys ever have this conversation before? It was just kind of like, that's it, we're done.
Wow, she looks at me like that.
Because y'all didn't have that conversation. That's why she's looking at you like that. Even Arlette knows that. Let's continue.
So we kind of had this type of conversation, but it was nothing that was
Kind of. You didn't have the conversation, fam. You didn't have the conversation. You was in fear. You was in fear. You was in fear. She was not in fear. You was in fear of the situation because of your situation. You talked about her past and her relationship. It's still affecting you. Your past relationships is affecting you. You still need to heal. She pretty much went through the healing process. It was more of, was you ready? That's why she asked you that question. Seems like you're not ready for a relationship right now.
like set in stone to where like, okay, this is how you like to know a person. This is how I like to know a person. Let's see if there is some way we can meet in the middle, so we can kind of compromise and make it work on both ends.
Which we should have done.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
that's failure on both
Y'all should have done that, right? Y'all both should have done that, correct?
of our ends, that we kind of didn't communicate how we wanted to do that. You know, so I think we both.
Fear. He was in fear of saying what needed to be said, and you was going based off his energy. And so you wasn't too sure if you wanted to say what you need to say because you don't know if he would be able to handle it. So both parties admit they wrong. Let's continue.
Dropped the ball
Yeah, I
on that
appreciate taking
aspect.
accountability for that.
Yeah.
Look at you, just all accountability.
I know where the it's plaster on my head.
Oh, man. Okay.
Zero counting software helped put me on the right path.
All right, so it's pretty much about to be over. I'm just waiting for this thing to go through, the advertising to go through. Fair use. 1 second, y'all.
Where are we today? What's going on? Is he booking a flight?
He is not.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
We both agreed to just let this be what it was. I appreciate meeting Jeremiah, the whole experience. Although it's kind of tough, but he's a great guy. I have nothing bad to say about him to this day. So yeah.
No, Shana is a very beautiful woman. She has perfect wifey traits, guys. And, and if you're in the Florida area, definitely check her out.
Okay.
But
If you're in the Florida area, check her out. That means they saw my video. They had to watch the video. Well, whoever in Florida sees it will have an opportunity to reach out to her on Instagram. It is what it is. Hey, he put it out there. I didn't put it out there. He put it out there. Let's go.
overall, she's a great woman. She has been great through this process, and you never know, you might see one of us again.
Go see Jeremiah again. If you're in Vegas,
Oh.
and I told him this personally off camera. I said, for the right woman and the woman that Jeremiah wants, he'll be an incredible partner. I believe that. So good luck to him.
No, good luck to you.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, friend.
Well, oh, God. The emphasis on friend. Okay. Well, just to wrap things up, any projects or any final thoughts, anything we
Okay, so we're gonna hear this project, any things they're gonna be doing, what's the future aspirations for both of them. Let's hear what they have to say.
gonna look out for me, either one of you?
No. Well, I do have a YouTube channel. I'm not sure. I don't want to.
No, go ahead.
Shout it
Yeah,
out,
put yourself
so-
out there.
Yeah, I wasn't sure this is your platform. I didn't
No,
want to
you're
put it out there,
good.
but I do have a YouTube channel called Tripping with Jay, and it's just me traveling to different countries and
Nice.
putting it out as a travel vlog. For the
Okay,
most part, yeah.
very cool. We'll be checking it out.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Shana?
I don't have anything, but I could just say Jesus loves you. Give life to Christ. He's the best. Amen.
All right. Well, thank you both for coming on today. I really do appreciate your time, and I wish you both honestly the best.
Thank you.
Of course. And thank you everyone for tuning in. We will catch y'all next time.
Well, he travels, so that's good. He travels different parts of the world. She just doing her thing in Florida and getting back to the Sunshine State. You know, some guys may be hearing her out now. It is what it is. So let me stop sharing this. I appreciate those who tuning into the show. Let me see. We got somebody in the chat. Golden, what's up, Golden? What's going on? Hey, that's a quick show. I would have loved to see them work out. I would have loved to see those two work out together for real. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Miscommunication is the key, you know. So, hey, she said you might get somebody in Vegas. He ain't thinking about no ladies in Vegas. He ain't thinking about no ladies in Vegas. So, yeah, I know guys are going to be looking at her Instagram, seeing if she's a catch. You know what I'm saying? You know, Florida. Get ready for that, y'all. Get ready for another Florida show. It's going to be very interesting. Very interesting. Later on today, I will be talking about Florida. And I'm going to say this to my Floridians. I miss y'all. I really miss y'all. I miss being down there. A lot of things is going on down there. Man, she out there in Orlando too. That Orlando is growing, y'all. Orlando is growing. Orlando is growing. If you knew what I've been looking at in Orlando, it's growing, man. Orlando's on a whole different plateau, y'all. Man, I would love to be there today. I truly, truly would love to be in Florida right now, in Orlando, especially right now. Right now. Not only because of the conversation that these two had. Orlando's on a whole different level, y'all. A whole different level. And I'm saying to myself, look where I'm at in this city. Nothing is growing, nothing is prospering. A lot of people is not in the right state of mind. And it's just what it is. Yeah. 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 It was a good show, Golden. It's just that I do miss Florida. I do miss Florida for real. I miss home. I do miss home a lot. And it's been on my mind a lot more than usual. It's been on my mind a lot more. So get ready for that later on today. I'll see y'all later on live. Do my third live. It's going to be one of those lives of live streams. So be on the lookout for that later on today in the evening. For most people, that will be afternoon. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to get on out of here. Y'all take it easy and peace.